Hey everyone, it's Esabelle and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about memory hacks. So here are 10 psychology-backed tips to improve your memory so that you can have a wonderful memory just like an INFJ.
Hold it! Whoops. What the heck do you think you're doing? This is my channel. Why would you film it as it was on yours?
Because I'm improving your video.
But then why did you say welcome back to my channel?
Well, now that I'm doing a lot of work for you, it is kind of mine too.
Oh, so she is saying it's our channel now, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I like that angle.
Yeah.
But first, let's roll the real introduction to the channel. Hello, my audience. My name is Paul, and this is Esabelle, and we are
Hello.
here to celebrate the best memories that I have of 2024.
Mm-hmm.
As you can tell, one of them is
Obviously me.
again. And I'm sure you guys have probably figured out from the fact that this intro exists that this is going to be the #1 memory of the year, but let me clarify that it's not because I think she's better than anyone else, because I actually don't want to show favoritism.
He really does.
I mean, you are one of my best friends, but I don't want to say that the other people did an inferior job this year. It's just that the circumstances of us meeting are so insane that I want it to be like, wow, I can't believe this happened. So I guess the general, our camera woman is making funny faces. The general gist of this video is that we are going to be looking at the best, just general moments throughout 2024 that has been amazing. So not necessarily any game releases, but there will be gaming related stuff like updates and general things. So do you have anything that you'd like to add to the audience now that it's our channel?
I think we just made a best memory with our camera woman doing another face. That is what this should. I think we better roll it because with the faces that she's making, we're not going to get too much talking. But more of this video.
That's fair. So without further ado, before she dies of laughter, here are the most epic memories of 2024 featuring Esabelle. Bye for now. Good evening, my audience. This is Future Paul, aka 2 months after that intro is finished. Do I have gray hair in that ensuing time? And I just wanted to make a quick disclaimer that I forgot to clarify what constitutes as not showing favoritism. I was just caught up in the heat of the moment of having fun with Esabelle and didn't think to clarify this bit. So, how this is going to work is that most of the memories are going to be in alphabetical order, save for the stuff that's related to God. I'm going to have that in its own section near the end, and at that point we'll be easing up on the gags and the music and the humor so that we can have more of a reverent tone. But I wanted to make sure that my memory of the year was the last thing that we showed. So we'll have Esabelle talk about her favorite memories of the year and then transition over to my memory of the year. Again, I don't want you guys to think that I am trying to say, oh, Esabelle is so much better than the rest of you. More so of, we live 15 hours apart. We met on YouTube, and we've somehow seen each other twice after only meeting on YouTube. So just the insanity of that being a reality is why it's #1, not because any of the other people mentioned on this list are these terrible, horrible people, or like 7 out of 10s and Esabelle's a 9, that kind of stuff. I mean, yes, she is one of my best friends, but still. I hope you guys don't get offended by any of that, and now let's roll the rest of the show. To celebrate my birthday, my Twitch streamer friends Miss Peggle and Akatsuki Todesfall did special streams for the occasion. Unfortunately, I don't have any means of accessing the footage, and even if I did, Miss Peggle was a bit too far into the game that she streamed that I would consider that a spoiler, and Red's videos automatically get deleted after they're done,
So instead, I will have footage of Mario Party Jamboree because that's a game that they both love. Pauline is wearing a red dress based off of Red's name, and there's a little bit of a hint to Red's name in the music, if you know what I'm talking about. For Peggle's end, because I want to do it in alphabetical order to avoid showing favoritism, she decided that she was going to try to speedrun 999, as she streamed it about 3 years ago and really liked it and wanted to see if she could relive the memories of the safe ending. And it was a lot of fun to be able to see her being able to see all the connections that she otherwise didn't make, because when she streamed it the first time, she was going in not knowing anything besides the absolute bare minimum that I told her to make sure she knew how to play the game. And seeing as Zero Escape is my favorite franchise, of course that was a legendary birthday present, up there with the same year that she decided to stream 999, Banjo-Kazooie, and Breath of the Wild in one day. On Red's end, she decided that she was going to live draw a picture of me, which I will have up on the screen right now. I may even consider making that my avatar at some point, who knows. I told her not to make it too anime, but at the same time she's like, I don't know how to draw any other way. I will link both of their channels in the description so you can go ahead and follow them, and you can hopefully let them know in the comments how much you appreciate their drawings and their stream, and I can pass along the message. So thank you, Red and Peggle, for being such great friends. Red, I hope we can talk more often, but if we don't, I am very glad that I have this memento that I'll always remember you by.
Hello, I'm a Mario. Let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage. I'm gonna get some spaghetti. We put spaghetti and the sausage in the pizza, and then I'm gonna chase you with the pizza. And if I catch you with the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza. And then you're gonna make a pizza. We're gonna put a pizza, and then if you catch me with the pizza, I'm gonna eat the pizza. Then we're gonna make a lasagna, and I'm gonna make the dish, and I chase you with the dish. If you're gonna catch you with the dish, you gotta eat the lasagna. And then you make a lasagna, chase me with the lasagna, and if I eat it, I gotta eat the lasagna. Then we're gonna make a mastaccioli, and then we're gonna make a tortellini. Then we make a rasto tutto lo tortellatello. This is a great pasta. I chase you with the rasto tutto lo tortellatello, and if I catch you with the rasto tutto lo tortellatello, you gotta eat and then you're gonna make.
Last year, Nintendo announced that Charles Martinet, who had been voicing Mario since 1991, would no longer be providing voices for Nintendo games going forward, but rather he was stepping into the role of Mario Ambassador, with giving basically no information about what that meant. Even Charles himself didn't know when he was asked that question at a panel. And at first, based on all of this uncertainty, it seemed like Charles was just going to be replaced by Kevin Afghani, and Nintendo would just delete all traces of his voice, as you can see in this comparison of Mario getting a star in Super Mario 64 versus WarioWare Move It.
Here we go!
Here we go!
So imagine everyone's surprise when Nintendo announced the Mario vs. Donkey Kong remake, and it was very clearly Charles's voice playing Mario, even though we had already heard Kevin Afghani playing Mario in WarioWare Move It and Super Mario Bros. Wonder. So did that mean Charles Martinet was back already, when it had only been a few months since the announcement? As it turns out, Nintendo had a very Nintendo-ish way of saying that Charles and Kevin are going to coexist in a certain way. How it works is that they're keeping Charles's voice in Mario remakes, as well as allowing him to do photo ops and the voices at special events such as Nintendo Live, but Kevin is still going to be doing the voice of Mario, Luigi, Wario, and Waluigi in the new games. So stuff like Super Mario Party Jamboree and Mario and Luigi Brothership. That being said, there were more games this year that featured Charles' Mario voice than Kevin's, as there were remakes of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD, all of which preserved Charles' lines. And in the case of Mario vs. Donkey Kong, they even used some samples from newer games to make the voice seem more consistent. So as a tribute to Charles, I have a collection of some of the lines that were preserved in Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Thousand Year Door. I never beat Luigi's Mansion 2. That would be too hard to find footage for, as well as a little bit of an introduction that he did at Nintendo Live where he did the voices of the characters. So even though we won't be hearing Charles's performance in any brand new Mario games, and possibly also no longer the Mario movies, he will still be doing the voice until he drops dead. Enjoy!
Here we go! Woohoo! Whee! Yep! Oh, yeah! Yup! Woohoo! Yahoo! Oh, let's go, little guys! Woohoo! Gotcha! Oh, mamma mia! Oh, 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 yeah! Hello, it's a me, Super Mario! Woohoo! And Luigi 2, Luigi number 1, Luigi number 1. Ho ho! Uh-oh, I think we're upside down. And Wario, have a rotten day. Yahoo! Wait, I forgot. Mommy said, say something nice, you brat. There, I said it and I meant it. And Waluigi, everybody cheat with me. Oh, hello, Mr. Eyeball Guy. And Baby Luigi. And Baby Mario, let's go. Yahoo!
Last year, my sister treated me to Comic-Con for my birthday. I get like the coolest birthday presents, don't I? And this year, my friend Teresa decided to do the same. We invited my friend Megan along because she loves Comic-Con possibly even more than I do. And it was better than the previous year's Comic-Con in just about every way. And I think the reason why is mainly because we were able to stay longer. My sister and I were only there for a couple of hours, but this time we went there for pretty much all of Friday and Saturday and had an absolute blast, except for near the end because I didn't bring good walking shoes and my feet were really sore, but apart from that it was a pretty much perfect experience. I loved seeing all the people dressing up in cosplays. Every single person that I asked to get a picture with said yes. Not a single person was annoyed that I was geeking out over the costumes, and I do plan on showing pretty much all of them. I will even add an extra music track if I have to make sure that you guys see all of them. We got to see a bunch of cool merchandise that was based off of popular franchises, and perhaps most importantly, there were quite a lot of celebrities that you could just go up and meet. And there were also some celebrities that did panels where they gave extended talks and then the audience could ask questions. I won't go in depth about all of the celebrities I met because that would make the video a bit too long, and I made that mistake with last year's video, so to try to keep things a little bit more brief, let's just rapidly go through all of the celebrities, and then I'll only go in depth about 2, and you'll see why those 2 I did. So I met, this year alone, Christina V, Ian Sinclair, John Ratzenberger, Karen Allen, Gray Griffin, Giancarlo Esposito, Jen Taylor, and Jennifer Morrison. You can see my Comic-Con video if you want to know my full thoughts on all of them. So I will instead just talk about the 2 Jens, because they were the ones that I paid for photo ops with. If you're wondering why I'm in the picture with Giancarlo, it's because that was what Megan paid for, and she was allowed to bring a guest. But I paid for the ones with the 2 Jens. Anyway, Jen Taylor was the previous voice of Princess Peach, as well as the Toads and Toadette. So I got a chance to talk to her about the creative process behind how she came up with all of those unique voices. She came across to me like kind of a gentle sweetheart, like not extremely outgoing per se, but like really wanting to make sure that I felt comfortable and welcomed. I think I might have caught her a little bit off guard when I said that I appreciated her performance in Super Mario Sunshine, even though the average population didn't, which I think she was like, oh, people thought I did a bad job. And she seemed genuinely shocked that they were preserving her voice lines in the Thousand Year Door remake, so Hope that doesn't get her in trouble that I said that. But she was like, oh yeah, absolutely. If you want a photo opportunity, I'll totally do that. And the more I heard her talk, the more I was like, oh yeah, I can totally see the Peach voice. Because at first I was like, oh, she sounds totally different. But then it started to sink in more and more. As far as Jennifer Morrison, she played Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time, which you know is my second favorite TV show. I think The Chosen has actually surpassed it now, but at the time it was my favorite TV show. And Emma was, at the time, the character that I could relate to most in all of fiction. And so a lot of the things that Jennifer portrayed on the screen helped me to process a lot of my own emotions at the time because I was going through really severe depression. So I got a chance to tell her how much Emma's character meant to me. And what really surprised me about Jennifer was that she was very different than Emma Swan. Like, I expected there to be a little bit of a difference because I don't think most actors are just going to play themselves. But she was radically different. Like, she was, like, extremely friendly, whereas Emma's a bit more of a standoffish person. She was very encouraging, kept saying things like, you're your own hero, don't thank me, you were the one that decided to get out of depression. And she was just very encouraging, gave me at least 2 hugs during that conference. And sadly, her line was barely non-existent. I also got a chance to go to her panel. I didn't ask any questions because I figured I already got to meet her at her booth. I want to give these other people a chance to ask their questions because I already asked mine. I did record the panel, but I won't be showing any of it because in the background it says the name of where the Comic-Con was, and I prefer to keep my location a secret. But what I will say is that I got the impression that she was a very different personality than what she portrayed in the show, and I was so extremely thankful that I got a chance to meet her, especially because I was supposed to meet her in 2020, but that Comic-Con got canceled because of the pandemic. So when she heard that, she was like, wow! It's almost as if it was meant to be, or something poetic like that. She was way more abstract than Emma was, which I really love. Comic-Con was a great opportunity for me to show off a bunch of cool costumes, meet cool celebrities, go to a panel, enjoy the atmosphere, see some cool merchandise, and have a good time with friends. And I certainly hope that next year will live up to the hype. And maybe I'll see some costumes from other franchises next time. Being a YouTuber is amazing. It is a pretty good replacement for Facebook notes. But while I do enjoy making videos for their own sake, I also enjoy being able to interact with, and in the case of Esabelle, meet the people that watch my stuff. It would take a long time to go over every single person that has really been impactful, but it really feels like this year I got so many cool people that I got to video chat with and meet, and they sent me some cool gifts. I'll try to go over a good amount of them, but considering that I have at present approximately 4,042 subscribers, I apologize if I can't get to every single one of you. That video would take too long. First off, I made a community poll asking people what they thought my games of the year would be, and a YouTuber by the name of Tyria Misu responded, only getting 3 wrong as of the time of that recording. And we had such a long and involved conversation that we eventually started talking via email, and that led us to video chatting. And she was really great at finding questions to ask me, and we've gotten into some really engaging discussions. To show her appreciation, she even drew a picture of Selena, a girl from one of my unpublished novels. There's a few details she got wrong, but again, you can watch my video all about the Secrets of the Dawn trilogy if you want to know why the hair color is a little bit off. Then I talked to someone named Alex who sent me some blessed rosaries to help my family during the really rough part of what we're going through. We're still going through it, but it has gotten better since then, and it's possible that the grace from the rosaries really helped. I met someone named well, I didn't meet him because he lives very far away from me, even farther away than Esabelle does, but I got a chance to video chat with someone named Ali and hopefully introduce him to Jesus, because by the time we had our previous video call, he had said, like, you know, I'm studying Christianity and I want to know who Jesus is, pray for me. So I may actually convert someone to Christianity for the first time ever, at least that's been recorded. Then there was, of course, Matthew Rakowski, who has been my patron since I started Patreon. He also came to a lot of my streams. I didn't stream this year, but that's how I first knew him. And he sent me an amiibo of Joker from Persona 5, hence why I've got Persona 5 Royal music in the background. One of the members at the gym gave me a replica of the Hufflepuff cup from Harry Potter that she made with a 3D printer, and I'm probably forgetting so much more. But I just really appreciate that you guys have actually taken my suggestions of commenting on my videos. I don't just say that for engagement. Heck, I don't say that for engagement at all. A lot of the decisions I make on my video are done to emphasize my humor, my personality, at the expense of views, because I just think I want to show off my uniqueness, even if not a lot of people see it. So thank you so much for commenting. Thank you so much for your gifts. Maybe at some point I'll get a P.O. box. But for now, if we talk enough, maybe you'll be able to be on this section next year. If you really liked my skit to transition into this section of the memories, you can thank my subconscious, because I actually had a dream about using that for this video. And lo and behold, several months later, I decided, hey, that's a pretty good dream. I think I will keep that. So thank you very much, my sleeping mind, whatever you were thinking about that day. Hope it was something holy and not unholy. Anyway, it seems like J.K. Rowling's popularity has caused people to want to boycott Harry Potter as a whole, as opposed to, separating the art from the artist, because goodness knows pretty much every single person who's ever made fiction is going to have some kind of major problem to them. You might as well just stop enjoying fiction altogether if you're going to use that logic. And some people even went so far as to try to convince people to boycott Hogwarts Legacy, despite J.K. Rowling having no direct involvement in it, apart from creating the series that it was based on. Well, people didn't listen, because Hogwarts Legacy was one of the best-selling games of 2023, and this year it got free DLC in the form of the Haunted Hogsmeade quest, finally coming over to all the platforms except the PlayStation, as well as the announcement of Hogwarts Legacy Definitive Edition coming out eventually. And for those of us that already have the game, it's going to be available as DLC, paid DLC this time, but still, more Hogwarts Legacy is great for me. The Haunted Hogsmeade quest was pretty alright. It wasn't mind-blowing, it was just nice to have more cool boss fights and some decently cool puzzles, although I do think that people who are maybe experiencing seizure warnings might not like it, because there's a lot of visual trickery and things kind of jerking around all over the place. We got the announcement at the Summer Game Fest of Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, which I got a chance to review. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but at the same time, I know a lot of other people really like it. And Quidditch was missing from Hogwarts Legacy, so this same studio, or at least one of the same studios, decided, hey, if it's not going to be in Hogwarts Legacy, let's make a whole game out of it. And the fact that it was announced at the Summer Game Fest is really big too, because a lot of people have thought that Jeff Keighley is extremely against Harry Potter because Hogwarts Legacy didn't get any nominations at the 2023 Game Awards. It should have at least gotten Best Music. Come on. But the fact that one of his programs announced a Harry Potter related game, mind-blowing. In addition to that, we also got announcements that there are going to be new Harry Potter audiobooks that are fully acted by professional actors with some professional sound effects. There's going to be a Harry Potter TV show. And it's just such a great time to be a Potter fan, especially when most of us thought that the series had died out after Deathly Hallows came out. But no, if anything, it's showing that people love the series and it's having no signs of slowing down yet. As most of you know, my financial situation ever since I moved to this new house has not been great. In fact, it got to be so bad a couple of years ago that I had to sell most of my games and amiibos just to make sure that I could pay the bills. Thankfully, after all these years, it seems like my financial concerns are finally going away, and it got to the point where I was so stable, for lack of a better word, that I made the decision that I was going to hire Esabelle as my quality assurance assistant for my YouTube channel. For those of you that didn't see my announcement video, basically what it means is she's going to be my editor, but I'm calling it Quality Assurance Assistant because her motto on her YouTube channel was always quality first, even if it takes a long time to come out with the videos. I've really liked all of our collaborations so far. Her work on last year's Best Games and Best Memories videos was impeccable, and I said, hey, if I can't think of anything else for you to do, just keep working on my Best Games and Best Memories videos for years to come. I have a couple of demos of her editing work on her channel so that maybe you can get an idea of why I decided to hire her, and it's just been so much fun to be in a collaborative position. It also helps that we were really good friends before we started collaborating, and we got to meet each other this year. So there's certainly been a lot of Esabelle this year. But don't just take it from me how great it is to have a new employee. I want you to hear from her how she feels about being employed. She actually made 2 acceptance speeches this year. One was one that I asked her to do, which you'll see first. The second was that she decided that in order to more effectively work for me, she was going to take a break, possibly permanently, from her own YouTube channel. And during that time, she talked even more about being my quality assurance assistant. So I hope you will enjoy both of her acceptance speeches. I hope you will enjoy all of the editing that she ends up doing for this video and has already done, because this was like a year in the making project. Get really excited for what she does for my best games video, because that one might even be better than this. And I hope you will enjoy our channel having great things going forward.
And now, Paul's new video editor, Esabelle.
Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys are too kind. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. No, you are the best. No, really, I don't even know what to do with myself. Well, I'm not quite sure where to begin. It's hard to top you guys on that round of applause there. So I will begin by saying that all of the kind things that I am about to say to Paul and about his channel, oh, I'm so nervous, guys. All those kind things are not things that he scripted for me. It is all me talking up here. In fact, I wish he kind of had given me a script for this, because I hardly know where to go. So let's just say that if you guys don't know me, I'm Esabelle, and I have a bachelor's of psychology from the University of Oklahoma. And I knew that whenever I wanted to get out into the world, I wanted to be able to help, to teach, to facilitate other people's growth and helping them make a better life for themselves. Psychology helped me so much that I wanted to share all that I had learned in my classes with other people. And that was the primary thing that I thought of whenever I began on YouTube. But it turns out that there is something that I never thought I would say. I actually do enjoy freelancing and working for other people too. I used to think I never wanted to work for somebody. It's a hindrance to freedom, a hindrance to creativity, and you get that stereotype of the terrible boss pushed in your face. You guys know who I'm talking about. Yeah, you guys really do. But now that I have found someone who is not only a boss, but a dear friend, and very few people can say that about their bosses. Again, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is an honor to be able to work with and for Paul on his channel, and it is a beautiful way that I have found of being able to help on another level that I never imagined going into YouTube. It's a huge honor, and I will always be indebted to him for hiring me. And Paul, thank you so much. Just really, I cannot say that enough. Not only is this a great job, you offer me so much creativity and freedom and flexibility and understanding that I never thought that I would find working for someone. But also, you taught me how much fun it can be to work for someone else. And while I do hope that I've been able to help other people on my channel towards their goals and helping their dreams come true, there's something special about directly working for someone who shows gratitude for it and who obviously enjoys the work that I do and inspires me to do amazing work, not only for my own channel, but for somebody else who actually appreciates it. I hope you know that I value quality if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, and I know you have been. You know that I am very devoted to quality in my work, and I will extend that value. There we go. I almost said moral, not quite the right word. I will extend that value and that principle to your channel as well. So thank you so much again. Please, everyone, give it... Okay. Before you give it all to me, please give Paul some too. This could not have happened without him. Give him a big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much again, Paul. You've changed my perspective in some amazing ways. And I cannot wait to keep working with you going forward. Thank you, everybody. Thankfully, I'm not leaving YouTube altogether. I'm happy to announce that my wonderful friend Paul has officially hired me as his quality assurance assistant on his channel, The Catholic Gaming Nerd. We've been collaborating for a few years now. A few years ago, I never would have said this, but I like working for someone. Paul and others I've worked for on commission often give me projects that prompt me to learn new skills that I never would have thought to develop on my own. I still get to enjoy challenge and variety, yet I don't feel lonely and overwhelmed like I do when I work all alone. Thank you, Paul, for hiring me. This job is an enormous blessing. I cannot wait until we can hang out in person again.
I haven't exactly made it a secret on my channel that my favorite style of music is orchestral, which means that, of course, a lot of recent Nintendo games have had some absolutely stellar soundtracks. And Nintendo decided, hey, let's make a whole concert full of some amazing Zelda tunes for part of our Nintendo Live celebration. Not really much more I can say besides I absolutely love hearing these orchestral arrangements of some of the greatest Zelda tunes, and I think it's really cool that it shows the strength of how good Nintendo's orchestras were with some of their later games, because they were already orchestrated in the main game, and they hardly needed to change anything for the concert. So I hope you will check out the Nintendo Live 2024 to see the full concert for yourself. Now, as for my favorite song in the symphony, well, stay tuned. Funnily enough, the very next item in alphabetical order is also Nintendo Music related. In fact, that's what it's called, Nintendo Music. Nintendo Music is an app that is available for those who have a Switch Online membership for the smartphone, so it's free with the existing membership, and it lets you listen to Nintendo soundtracks. Now, I know that sounds really basic, and you're probably like, Paul, there are plenty of other ways to listen to Nintendo soundtracks, but not officially. Usually you have to go through some other third party, like YouTube, and hope that people upload those soundtracks, and then further hope that those soundtracks don't get taken down. Not only that, but you need internet access to even use YouTube, so unless you know how to download the videos off of YouTube, you're pretty much out of luck. But with this app, you get some of Nintendo's greatest soundtracks, the ability to download them onto your phone to play offline. There's pictures of the songs. In some cases, the songs didn't have names, so now you can see the official names of all the songs. And it's just so cool to have all this Nintendo music in one easy-to-access place. Sure, the organization is a bit clumsy, as if you just want to listen to the full soundtracks of every game, so you have to scroll all the way down, and there are quite a lot of notable omissions. Nintendo has some legendary soundtracks, and they're just nowhere to be found. There are no 3DS games currently, no Virtual Boy games, although I highly doubt those will ever come over. Only one Wii U game, there's no Xenoblade games, no Kid Icarus Uprising, but you know what? If it takes them a while, that'll be better than not having these soundtracks at all. So the mere fact that we have hope that we can listen to these legendary tunes whenever we want is so cool, and it makes it so that I don't have to lug my heavy Switch all around. If I want to show people music, I can just say, here you go. And hopefully, if you haven't heard some of these soundtracks before, this can be a nice, convenient introduction to the amazing world of Nintendo music. I did the pun again. Gotta love it. If you were paying attention during the Comic Con section of this video, you might have been thinking, if Paul's sister got him a visit to Comic Con last year, but if his friend Teresa paid for Comic Con this year for his birthday, then what did his sister get him? I'm glad you were paying attention, all two of you, because my sister let me go to Pinball Pete's, which is an arcade most known for its pinball machines, but also has quite a lot of other cool arcade machines. We didn't get a chance to play all of them because she also took me to go watch Goblet of Fire in the movie theater, but while we were there we got to play a little bit of Tetris, Galaga, Skee-Ball, Guitar Hero, Mario Kart Arcade GP 2, I believe, and Star Wars Arcade Racer. I was terrible at most of them, although I did do really good at Tetris. I got, I believe it was a triple S or a double S, one of the highest scores you can get, but my sister just barely hit the stop button before the screen transitioned so that she couldn't record it. But you know what? Even if I was bad at the games, I still enjoyed the atmosphere of being at an arcade because I used to love going to them when I was a kid. I loved going back to the old quarters approach, the atmosphere with like the sounds all around you, and my sister being there. Normally I would get sensory overload from this kind of thing, but it was pretty alright this time around. And hey, if nothing else, I can at least say that I still haven't lost my touch for Tetris, even if that overly clunky control stick made it look like I was worse than I actually am. When Nintendo wrapped up the DLC for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in 2021, a lot of us thought, okay, that's it. No more new content is coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The game is truly ultimate. It has Banjo and Kazooie, Joker, Byleth. Okay, that last one is only amazing to me, but I love Three Houses, so I'm happy to be a contrarian. Anyway, we all thought it was done. Even though I secretly think that there are so many cool characters still left over in gaming that there could potentially be endless spirit battles, Nintendo must have gotten the same idea. Because 3 years later, they just randomly said, hey, we're going to give you new spirits in Smash Brothers, and some of them are going to be based off of games that were released recently, such as one from Tears of the Kingdom, one from Xenoblade Chronicles 3, a couple from Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Princess Peach Showtime, even Hades got a spirit battle. Like, that's an indie game. And you know how very rarely Nintendo references indie games apart from their own. Now, obviously, I'm not going to show every single spirit battle here because that would take way too long, and I already made a video showcasing all of them, so you can just go ahead and watch that. but I at least wanted to acknowledge that spirits are one of the best things Nintendo has ever come up with, in my opinion. And I am absolutely a spirit completionist. I have currently beaten and collected every spirit in the game, and so being able to have an opportunity to do that 3 years later is so incredible. It gives me a way to show off some of my favorite games in a more unique form, and being able to play as Banjo and Kazooie during it, like, that's super cool. And I love the opportunity to play through my favorite memories from games that I love in a new fighting format. And I hope that if there is another Smash Brothers game, that it will continue the trend of spirit battles and maybe even improve upon them so we can get many more amazing mashups to come. Oh boy, I have to be really careful what I say in this next section because I'm going to be talking about the Zero Escape trilogy, which is a very story-driven franchise, and it's also M-rated. So if either of those things bother you, you want to just experience the games for yourself, or like, M-rated games, I know Paul won't show anything, but still, that makes me uncomfortable. Here's a timestamp to skip all that. I will also be showing the games in order. So once I get past the 999 stuff, I'll give you a warning saying, okay, Virtue's Last Reward is coming up. Here's where you can skip. And then after Virtue's Last Reward, I'll say, okay, here's your Time Dilemma coming up, so you can skip. So if you only want to take it one game at a time, that is also totally fine. But if you're still around, then one of my favorite memories of this year was that 3 people, not just one, 3 people decided to make videos and or streams about the Zero Escape trilogy. Big Mochi, a Twitch streamer, decided to stream 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors, although from his perspective he's already played all 3 games, so the clips that I'm going to be showing from his are more so him doing amazing voice acting work as opposed to his raw reactions. Then Shadow Kitty on YouTube made a video all about her reactions to Virtue's Last Reward, which, you know, she's gone through 999 on stream, but then decided she wasn't going to stream Virtue's Last Reward, she'd just make pre-made videos showing her reactions. And then Peggle decided to stream the 3rd game in the series, Zero Time Dilemma, where, once again, blind reactions. Now, I will say that Peggle has a few things that she wants to say about the Zero Escape trilogy as a whole, so if you want to skip straight to her spoiler-free thoughts, I will also have a timestamp here. Now that I'm done carefully picking my words, I will just say that I hope you enjoy these people's reactions and voice acting to the game, and I hope I've made it clear that Zero Escape is my favorite franchise, and I don't think I will ever get tired of seeing people stream it, because it is so much fun to watch other people revel in the plot twists and the story and the voice acting as much as I do. Hey, I even wrote a novelization based off of the 3rd game. That's how much I love this series. If you want to check it out, let me know, and maybe I'll put a link in the description. But until then, hope you enjoy each game.
Hey! Hello? Is anyone there? Open the door! What the? Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Hey! Anyone! Is anyone there? Come on, if you're there, say something! And also, hi, Paul. Cool to see you here. I figured if anything was going to summon you, Paul, it would be a stream of 999. Someone's playing 999 without you asking. Hey, man! I love 999. It's one of my favorite visual novels of all time.
Consider this a privilege. You have been chosen. You are going to participate in a game. The Nonary game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line.
Do I have your permission to clip part of the stream and share it? Oh yeah, of course you do, Paul. Please, go for it. Go for it. Going up won't do you any good. There are 2 doors, but neither of them will open. Come on! Aren't you coming? You gotta hurry! The doors on A deck are no good! We gotta check the doors on B deck! Got it? Now go!
Welcome aboard. I welcome you all from the bottom of my heart to this, my vessel. I am Zero, the captain of this ship. I am also the person who invited you here. I mean to have you participate in a game. Some of you, I know, are familiar with this game. The Nonary game. It is a game where you will put your life on the line. The rules of the notary game can be found upon your persons. They are simple rules. Read them. There is one last thing I must tell you. As you have no doubt surmised, the ship has begun to sink. On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into an iceberg. After remaining afloat for 2 hours and 40 minutes, it sank beneath the waters of the North Atlantic. I will give you more time. 9 hours. That is the time you will be given to make your escape. Now, it is time. Let our game begin. I wish you all the best of luck.
This elevator. Push the button. I was gonna do it, but he did it for me. What color?
The one
Oh,
on the
green's
left
my
is
favorite.
green.
I wanna go through the green one.
You telling me we're gonna have to just sit around here for another 2 hours?
I feel that. I feel that on a personal level. I swear on my Yeezys, you just gave me a Bulbasaur today for my Pokemon Blue Nuzlocke.
We gotta head back.
I don't know what you're doing here.
Quark, why don't you show them that note we found?
Unless Professor Oak is like your long lost cousin or something. I'm sorry. I won't keep making that joke because it's so uncanny. The kids are ambidextrous. Good for them.
So when Zero says jump, we say how high, huh?
You know, kind of like your attitude a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You're kind of real.
Hey, Grandpa, check this out.
Please tell me you're not calling me Grandpa. In other words, they'd known each other before the nunnery games, and if Quark was calling Tomoyoji Grandpa, maybe they're even related. You've got such a big brain in your head to think that if he's calling him Grandpa, they just might be related. You're so smart, Sigma. I couldn't figure that one out. Well done. Well done. He's so smart, guys.
And you can drink all the root beer floats you can stomach.
What?
W, Grandpa. Not giving his child alcohol.
You were taking so long. I hopped off for a little nap.
Yeah, well, I had it on hard difficulty. Sorry, Queen. We've got some keys for the ambidextrous room because they've got 2 hands and they can write with both because they're so clever.
Hey,
Wow.
open up!
No, it's the plague! It's the plague, Doctor! Coin, what are you? Two-Face from Batman?
Wait! I can't believe you guys.
Kane's right. You just going to do what he says?
Akane, what? That was Akane? I didn't even... The hair color's different. Oh, I actually have to pick? I don't know. This is gonna murder me. Pick red? I do like red. But then there's blue, and I also like blue. I don't know. I don't know. I picked red. Cat, if we're wrong, I'm blaming you. Guys, that's it. We're done already. We finished the game, guys. Let's go. We did it. Winning. Guys, we won. We're outside. We just won the game. What do you mean? I love winning. Why is there 4 on their own like that? Mega sus. He just gave up my life. It took me 12 minutes and 29 seconds to get one ending. At this point, it doesn't matter who you pick, but eventually you can choose between these 3 protagonists. There's 3 protagonists. Are you kidding me? Sigma's just vibing in the background? Are you serious? We might go and we'll just blah. That is so good, though. I'm so proud that we got an ending straight away. I hate the fact that they look so different, which is why I didn't realize it. It's literally because they got a different character design. I know, silly. Are you serious? But why okay, fine. Well, now I want to be on this team. Now I want to be on this team because of Junpei and Akane. He has a name change, which is Temnoji. Temnoji? I can never pronounce the name right. He's all like, oh, Akane.
Hey, Akane, why don't you try using the morphogenetic field?
Morphogenetic field?
Stop!
Just pressing random buttons isn't going to solve anything.
It does for Peggle. I'm telling you. Junpei, have you learnt nothing from me? I will brute force my way through anything. Come on. Trash disposal. Can we put Sigma in it?
Just in case you did not heed my warning about the timestamps, Peggle has a couple of additional things she would like to say about her thoughts on the entire trilogy now that she's beaten it. The first couple of minutes of what she recorded does have some major spoilers for Virtue's Last Reward, so if you want to skip to her just giving a broad overview of the series, here you go. Hope this is the last timestamp I have to give for now. Enjoy her thoughts, and if not, then hopefully you did the time skip earlier and we can just move on to the rest of the memories.
Hey, do you remember when I said this? You are stealing my heart. You better stop. You're stealing my heart. You're not allowed. I take that back. 'Cause now it's because of this.
If you want this back, in the next AB game, you have to choose ally.
That's horrible! You're using Quark's life as leverage!
Well, I've got some really good reasons to do so. I'll be happy to give it back if you just do what I say. This game isn't about compassion. It's not about being clever. It's about one thing. How well you can manipulate people to your advantage. How unfair you can be.
Yeah, I don't like Dio anymore. He can take that outfit and go join the circus. Hey guys, welcome to my wait. This isn't my channel. Hey guys, I just want to quickly come into Paul's channel, just see my way through, and give out my best memory of 2024, because you know you're getting bored, and I'm gonna be the best thing out of this video. Of course. It's Zero Escape. Zero Escape, playing the whole series, and just experiencing all of the craziness out of it is probably my best memory. And I'm saying all of them, because it took me 2 years to beat it. Definitely, they are all amazing. They're all my favorites in some sort of way. Like 999 has my favorite ending, Virtue's Last Reward has my favorite twists, and Zero Time Dilemma has my favorite character. So they are all something in some sort of way, but if you haven't played Zero Escape, I highly recommend giving it a go, because it is absolutely amazing. I hate escape rooms, but Zero Escape does it in a way where I can appreciate them. It was really emotional when I had to finish and say goodbye, because I'm like, I loved the series so much. You know when you watch something for the first time and you have that reaction, and then you realize afterwards that you're never going to get that reaction again? That's how I feel with Zero Escape. I wish I could play it all over again just to get those first reactions again. Yeah, it's made me appreciate visual novels so much more, and I'm hopefully going to do some more in the future. Which I've got one coming up next year, but you're not going to know about it yet. Wink, wink. But yeah, I just wanted to say, Zero Escape is probably my favorite memory of this year. And if you haven't played it yet, what are you doing? Go get the game right now. Go get it. Go get it. It's cheap. It's not that expensive. It is fun. And get back to me when you play it. Alright, bye!
I know I said once we got into the more God-focused parts of the video that we would tone down on the gags and the visual effects and all that stuff to keep it more reverent, but I think if you know what's coming up, you'll agree that this is definitely one of the godly memories that deserves an exception.
You can't use insulting words. Oh, I am just getting started.
It's hard to believe, but 2024 was the year that I discovered a TV show that I actually like more than Once Upon a Time. And that show is none other than The Chosen. And thankfully the 4th season of the show came out this year, so it was just barely eligible to make the list. For those of you that don't know what The Chosen is, it's basically a retelling of the life of Jesus and his disciples with really amazing production values. Like, these things are normally very low budget, but you can tell that a big company helped with this show. And it tries to propose a hypothesis on how the things that weren't mentioned in the Bible could have gone. Like, what did Matthew have to lose when he was called to be Jesus' disciple? Why did Peter ask, how many times should I forgive my brother? Other things that are kind of just glossed over in the Gospels are fully explored. And there are sides to the characters that maybe you never would have thought of, like, does Jesus have a sense of humor? Are there things that annoy him? Did he ever have favorite foods, for example? A lot of these The Chosen attempts to answer in a very cohesive way, but another thing I like about it is that it tries to contextualize the Jewish parts of Jesus' life that maybe those of us in the modern audience maybe we didn't pick up on. I mean, I was always confused by the Bible verse where Jesus said that you can't put old wine into new wineskins. I never knew what that meant because I'm not a wine drinker. And The Chosen makes it out like, oh, duh, of course that's what Jesus meant this whole time. Because that is how Jesus talked to his disciples. And if he's talking to his disciples like that, then that's how the Catholic Church has the magisterium. Because we believe they did pass it down. And this TV show, despite being made by Protestants, has quite a lot of reverence for Catholic theology. Jonathan Rumi, the actor who plays Jesus, is a very devout Catholic, and I think that helps the performance to feel much more authentic, and he's actually done such a good job that people have mistaken him as Jesus and tried to get him to hear their confessions, and he'd have to be like, nope, take it to a priest, I'm just an ordinary actor. I am very excited to see where The Chosen takes us next, because supposedly Season 5 is based on Holy Week, so I imagine that involves the crucifixion. And so far, the seasons have been building up to that event by portraying Jesus' more emotional side. So as the seasons progress, you can see that he's gradually getting more and more anxious about his passion. And it's overall just such a well done show. It's completely free. You can get the entire show by going on The Chosen's YouTube channel or by getting the app, which is also free. But if you want to support them, you can go to thechosengifts.com and buy the DVDs or various Chosen related merchandise. Heck, there's even a Chosen Con to like be a Chosen version of Comic-Con. So you gotta love how a Christian show is now the highest crowd-funded project in history. So do what you can to support the show, and if you can't support it, go and watch it for free. That's what I did, and I learned quite a lot, so I hope you will be as enlightened by the show as I was. I had heard so many things about my current parish's Easter Vigil that they were absolutely legendary, and I finally got a chance to go to one due to it now being my parish. Sadly, I was not able to go to the Easter Vigil in person this year, but because my parish live streams everything, I was still able to watch it, hear the homily, especially to hear the glorious music. Now, I know not all of you keep Easter, but I think you'd still be able to appreciate this section because the opening of the Easter Vigil has quite a lot of musical renditions of popular scripture passages, and unlike most churches, this particular parish goes all out. Like the Canticle of Moses, for example, is sung by a professional opera singer. Not too bad, because I don't normally like opera singers, but this guy's pretty darn alright. And it's meant to build up to the glory and the spectacle that is the resurrection, and of course, eventually the second coming. Last year, I only showed a handful of songs from the Vigil, but this year I'm hoping to show a little bit more, since I've been trying to be more brief with these sections. So I hope you'll enjoy this absolutely fantastic music, and maybe use it as an opportunity to praise God if you've been kind of forgetting throughout the rest of this video. Also, I just gotta say, the Gloria that they did here is so spectacular. I think they even outdid last year's Vigil, because sometimes I like to compare and contrast this year's samples with last year's. Yeah, they absolutely outdid it. And if you are one of the few people that paid attention to last year's video and then compare and contrast to this one, I will be very proud of you, because that's basically my lifestyle.
Beyond this
waters covered them. They sank into the depths like a stone. Your right hand, O Lord, magnificent in power. Your right hand, O Lord, has shattered the enemy. Let us sing to the Lord. He has covered himself in glory. Let us sing to the Lord. He has covered himself in glory. Let us sing to the Lord. He has covered himself in glory. Let us sing to
I apologize in advance for not having footage or pictures of this next event, as I forgot to bring a camera. But those of you who watched my video on the Embodying the Faith retreat will know that I went in excruciating detail trying to describe what the place looked like, and some of you even pointed out that you felt like you were there with me because the amount of detail was so excruciating. I won't go into every detail about the retreat just because, again, I already did it in a video, but I will say that the aftermath of the retreat has produced two very great friends of mine that I still talk to pretty regularly, usually at least once a month, unless they're sick, and that's really about it. We've hung out a few times. We'll likely go on retreats again in the future. I don't know exactly when, but that certainly beat the Lenten retreat that I went to in 2022, where I didn't keep in touch with a single person, and it really felt like it was a good spiritual experience, but it wasn't a good social experience, and overall it felt like a letdown. And this retreat was better in just about every single way. The room was comfortable and heated because it was in the winter. I felt like I actually got a really good sleep. The bed was comfortable. I slept by myself. I didn't have two other guys to coordinate showers with like I did last time. The showers were immaculate, probably the best I've ever had on a retreat. I liked how there was free time between events where I could just take a nap if I was getting too tired, which I did, which was very welcome. I liked being able to take a walk outside and experience all of the snow. I know snow doesn't sound very appealing, but it was a very pleasant experience to be around all the whiteness and the trees and the foliage, and despite that it was in the wintertime, it was still very pleasant to look at. Really, the only things I can complain about on the retreat were it was very easy to get lost. Like, I almost didn't make it to where I was supposed to go because the layout of the complex was extremely confusing, way less straightforward than any other retreat house I'd been on. And I also forgot to jot down notes on a lot of the talk, so I don't remember too much of what was said. But one thing that I do really like is that it talked about how, since we are made in the image and likeness of God, we are given unique responsibilities to enable us to be more like God. So, for example, when we rest, we're not just doing it because we're tired. We're doing it because we as humans can appreciate our efforts, whereas the animals cannot. They do everything by instinct. So rest should be this wonderful celebration, just like it was for God when he rested on the very first Sabbath day at the beginning of time. And I also received a temporary miraculous healing on that retreat. Again, watch the video for the details. I was originally going to include another miraculous healing on this list, but considering that this video is already too long, I'm just going to make a separate video on the occasion. But let's just say that there have been so many miraculous healings I've had since 2018 that I'm actually losing track of a lot of them. And especially after this retreat, when the temporary miraculous healing happened the exact second that the monstrance faced me during adoration, retreats like this help solidify my belief that the Eucharist is the real deal. And if I were to ever not be a Catholic, I would be an Orthodox, because I can't think of any other religion that truly sees the Eucharist as being the real presence of Christ. So in summary, great friends, great scenery, great couches, great campfire, amazing food. The building where we had the food in was really great. The talks were pretty alright, but mostly it was just great to be around a lot of fellow Catholics and really feel like I was actually doing something about my faith besides just praying and living out the gospel in my regular life. Like I could somewhat return to that familiar pattern of constantly going to events. So before we move on to my memory of the year, which I'm pretty sure most of you already know if you watched the intro, let's see what Esabelle has to say about some of her favorite memories.
Hey Paul's audience, it's Esabelle. Paul asked me to share some of my favorite memories of 2024, and I do have a few for different reasons. Paul hiring me officially on his channel is no doubt a highlight because of how consequential this event is in my life. Not only does it offer a measure of consistent income, but I get to keep earning experience in my field. Even though I'm degreed in psychology, I do consider my self-taught video editing to actually be my field because that's what I'm always hired in. Now, my funnest memory is a toss-up between Paul and our friend Teresa's second visit here in Oklahoma and the Feast of Tabernacles. When Paul and Teresa came, we got to eat out together. Thank you, Teresa, for introducing me to faux food. It is chef's kiss. Spent time at an amazing water park, watched the Mario movie, which even as a non-gamer, I very much enjoyed. Tour them around my alma mater at last. And of course, just talk, laugh, and catch up. The tour of my alma mater was especially meaningful since I had made wonderful memories there earning my degree. It helped make me who I am today, so getting to share my campus with my friends is kind of like getting to share my heart with them. The other highlight was the Feast of Tabernacles, which I spent in the live entertainment capital of the world, Branson, Missouri. Now, anyone not highly familiar with the Bible probably does not know what the Feast of Tabernacles is. I'll put some scriptures on the screen if you want to know more about its biblical roots, but for this video, I'm just going to share my personal experiences at the Feast of Tabernacles this year. Since this is a celebratory festival and one in which brethren are expected to travel to a temporary dwelling, I spent this year in a medium-sized Feast of Tabernacles site in Branson, which had about a few thousand people attending, I would say. I got to spend time with people around the country, and it's always cool meeting people from other countries who come over to America to spend the Feast of Tabernacles here. So in some ways, it's kind of a multicultural experience. There is so much to enjoy in Branson, from the church activities, which are dances, picnics, dinner parties with brethren, and Bible studies. I also hung out with a lot of good friends and brethren for personal activities that we chose to do, like an aquarium visit, a Yakov Smirnoff stand-up comedy show.
What a country.
Game day, and lots and lots and lots of restaurants to try. Branson has amazing restaurants. If you go there, absolutely try them. I especially love the Clay Oven, which is an Indian restaurant. I can't remember the name of it, but there's an excellent Thai restaurant over near Fuddruckers. Absolutely incredible. The Feast of Tabernacles is nearly always the highlight of every year, and it has been, I'd say, a few years since I've had one this fun. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm gonna add another memory. I guess you could look at it as an honorary memory, as one of the coolest experiences of 2024. That was going to see Jordan Peterson on tour in Lexington, Kentucky with a group of amazing people. I adore Jordan Peterson, which, of course, I'm kind of biased. I am a psychology nerd myself. And it was so neat getting to soak up his wisdom in person. Those are my highlights. I hope that your 2024 was nothing less than an amazing year for you as well.
Meeting Esabelle again for the second time since 2020. It honestly makes me feel like the event almost didn't happen because it's just so unbelievable. What are the odds? Do you know of anyone else who met someone through YouTube and was able to do it twice in the span of 4 years? I would say that that's a pretty rare occurrence. And the fact that we're already such good friends, and it seemed like we just became better friends after that trip, because seeing each other in person and being able to see each other's facial expressions when we were talking about deep stuff, just, I don't know how to describe it, but it added, I won't even try to describe it. It was just a very good experience to have that added sensual, not sexual, sensual experience of being able to see her face and feel her when I hugged her and hear her voice coming straight at me as opposed to out of a phone speaker. It was a lot of fun. I'm really thankful that in Esabelle's section she included some pictures from the trip. I will have a couple of pictures from the trip as well that she did not show so that we don't have too much repetition. Some of them will give you a little bit of an idea of what I have planned for the best games video, so consider that a little bit of a bonus from yours truly. Again, I made a whole vlog about what we did, so I don't know if it would be prudent for me to repeat everything because I want you guys to go and watch the vlog. But a couple of things that we did were we got to hang out with Esabelle's sister, who I had met on the previous trip, but she only came for one of the days, and she was also going through a bit of a hard time, so I didn't get the full realization of her personality. And seeing as she was much better off this time around, I realized that she was actually really funny, had a not quite the same kind of humor as me, but like she got my jokes more than Esabelle did, which was very refreshing. And it was very refreshing to see her making those kinds of jokes, and then I would be like, oh wow, that's usually the kind of stuff that I would say. But apart from that, we also went to the water park. Our feet nearly got burned from the sidewalk, so next time we'll bring water shoes. We got to tour Esabelle's college, which that was more so for her and Teresa, because for me I was just like, well, I want to make you guys happy, so I'll just tag along. But I did think some of the architecture was nice, and I appreciated that we got the chance to do some filming on the stage there. I got to see what the curtains look like in all the skits that she's been doing for my Best Games video. And I also got to do a couple of things on stage as well, which you will see in the Best Games video. So in a sense, I guess you could say that it helped me to get a bit more of a behind the scenes on the process involved in actually helping to make my videos better. I also enjoyed watching the Mario movie. Esabelle already mentioned that, but from my perspective as someone who adores gaming and most Mario games and who has already seen the movie like 4 times, it was great to see it again, knowing that their perspectives were a lot different than mine, and so being able to explain the references and answer their questions was really fun. I especially loved Esabelle's sister's reactions. Like, her sense of humor is just so... it's something else. I wish I could remember specific examples, but I just remember thinking, man, her commentary is actually funnier than the movie itself, which is not saying much, because Illumination is much more known for their visual gags than for their written jokes. I am honestly blown away by the fact that I can have such a good friend living 15 hours apart, and yet despite the distance, we are still able to not only make our friendship work, but to have a proper employee-boss relationship and make that work as well as you can with 2 people with very different personalities. Esabelle, I know you're going to be watching this, so I will give you a special message directly to you. You have been so great in making my channel such high quality, and I'm really thankful that I hired you, because I am glad that my channel can finally stop being called the amateur channel by some people indirectly. I dearly hope that you enjoy working for me. I pray every night that you actually enjoy yourself. I enjoy having you as an employee. I appreciate that you ask a lot of questions, because that's what I do to my boss at my job, so thank you for doing to others what I would have them do to me. And I hope that we'll get to see each other again in the near future, hopefully in 2025. Signs are looking, I'm starting to address the audience now, signs are looking like we might be able to have her and possibly her sister and possibly her sister's husband come over and enjoy what I have to offer around my state. So enough blabbing, let's see some highlights, and then as a special bonus for you guys, we held back on a specific section of filming when we were on the trip so that we could save it for this video. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy the rest of the clips and the bonus filming that we did just for this occasion. And until the next time, remember to keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye for now.
The hotel room that I'm staying in is the exact same as the one I stayed in last time. Wasn't even trying.
And it's my favorite number, too.
Really?
139 is my favorite number.
What's the history behind that?
Because my freshman year, which was my favorite year of high school, that was my locker number.
Oh, wow. So it's like God wants this to be.
Do they have to give, you know, info on the whole breaking the picture last
Yeah, they
time?
can watch the other video.
That's one way to get views.
I I never thought I'd be saying that for my channel, but hey, give me a view on the other video. It's only one more view. It's not gonna kill the algorithm, I guess.
Just one, guys.
Yeah, just one. This is real.
Well,
is that an obscene gesture?
What did you do?
I just did that.
It might be like a gang sign, so.
Oh. There we go.
That wasn't what he meant. Well, we come in peace, everybody.
The sidewalks were like so hot that we were like.
It's Oklahoma summers, so it's probably triple digits out there right now.
Yeah, so we decided we were just gonna pretend that we're at the water park. So you can just envision behind her a bunch of slides and screaming kids and all that. There, now you can imagine it better. And I liked the rides where we were like all on a tube and like sliding down, and we got like splashed by a waterfall on the way down, and when she was shocked by when there was a sudden jump.
He always goes for the most sadistic parts and zooms in on those.
I can just zoom in right now.
No! Well, you just came from a water park. You wouldn't be so cruel.
Whenever she did the backstroke, she just never seemed to be able to notice when there was someone behind her, which, you know, to be fair, it's not like
sky, so
it's not like you have eyes on the back of your head. They say girls have eyes on the back of their heads, so do you see what's behind there?
Hand.
I guess it's true. I gave her a new nickname at this trip called the Human Torpedo.
We're not supposed to make this public. This is gonna get back to my channel, I just know it.
Do you want me to edit that out of the video?
No, you can leave it.
Well, I came up with that because there was one point where she was just swimming so hard that she just rammed into Teresa. And I was like, well, your swimsuit's all black, and you were like swimming forward, so you kind of looked like a torpedo.
I think I need a floral bathing suit, guys.
So you can just edit that in there, just what she's wearing, but with flowers all over the place. That's her new look.
We'll have shoes on, so that's already a pretty good step in the right direction. No pun intended. But that was an accident, I promise. Watch him if you're around him. He does try to kill you. I know he's plotting against me still. See the last vlog if you want to know what I'm talking about.
Too bad we didn't get that on camera.
What?
Because they might think you're a liar.
It can be proven in a court of law.
I don't have as much cool stuff to show you, but I'm just hoping...
Teresa's signaling that she does.
Hello, my audience, and thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. As you just saw, again, this is coming out way later than we're filming it. It's in August.
Yep.
The best memory of 2024, I accidentally said 2022 in a previous take, was meeting Esabelle again in the same room that I stayed in last time. The exact same room, same number and everything.
Same room. My favorite number, 139.
Yeah.
And we didn't break anything, and he threatened to kill me, but he didn't try this time, so at least, well, there's one more day to go.
Well,
so
you
we'll
tried
see.
to kill someone on our trip.
That was accidental. Yours was purposeful. We all watched the other...
Watch the
last
upcoming...
year's, because,
And watch the upcoming vlog.
Yes.
But we just wanted to have a few additional words that weren't in the vlog.
Mm-hmm.
As well as possibly giving our reasoning for why we both think that this is, at least for me, I think it's the memory of the year. Do you think that this was like your highlight of the year thus far? And probably will be for the rest of the year?
I really don't like to predict like that, but it definitely is a huge highlight. Being able to be here, you know, getting to show you my world. I showed him around my alma mater. It was a wonderful experience, hopefully for you and our camera woman, but also for me, getting to share my world means a lot. Going to the water park again, so it was a little too hot, but
yeah. The sidewalk at the water park was probably the low point of our trip. I think all of us can agree that that was insane. It felt like I was tap dancing a lot, and I was actually sincerely worried that I had like actually damaged my feet and that I was gonna need like something to do, but they're fine now, so no worries. Obviously, we're still not completely done hanging out. We have a couple more things to film. We still have another full day that we're going to be hanging out, but like, we've reached the last of the major activities, and I think it's safe to say that this trip was an overall success.
Oh yes,
I
would say
have
so.
greatly enjoyed being able to see you again. There's a certain extra. There's something very special about being able to see you in person, to be able to like actually touch you and hug you.
Yes.
And see you in real time, and it's very cool.
Yeah, I never would have imagined getting to actually hang out with the people that I meet on YouTube whenever I first started my YouTube channel. So it's amazing how far we've come.
Yeah, it is. It's insane because I made a video that was a gaming related video, and that's what inspired her to comment, and I said, oh hey, it's a girl on one of my gaming videos, and it turns out she actually has a channel, and that's what led to this.
Yeah.
Well, it's a bit longer of a story than that, but we're not here to talk about
Yeah,
that.
long story short, here we are.
But I forgot what I was going to say, I remember now. So one of the memories that's also on this list a bit earlier in the eventual video is that you filmed an acceptance speech.
Yes, I did.
Of me eventually, in the next month or two, being able to hire you as my quality assurance assistant for my channel.
You know how much I love quality.
Yeah, that's why I came up with the title. So I guess that's probably like the closest you can get to like your memory of the year. So would you like to tell the audience like either some behind the scenes about the filming of that, or like how did that make you feel? Well, I guess you already filmed the acceptance speech.
Yes, I did.
But now that I'm here in person, is there anything you want to say straight to my face, literally? Because I'm right here.
I think I'm actually more comfortable with the acceptance speech. I always feel really embarrassed being mushy in front of people directly, but do watch the acceptance speech.
I do think it was great, and the dress she wore was absolutely beautiful. And she's going to be wearing it again in the Best Games video, so she'll be wearing it twice. So please watch that one. I am at a loss for words for how great this trip has been. If anything has not gone well, it's mostly been the fault of everything around us, and not because of you.
We've had a few circumstances, like the heat and...
But I do feel like everything worked out in the end, and...
Yeah.
And overall, it's fantastic, and I can't wait for the day when you come to visit me. Don't know when it'll come, but it'll eventually come.
That is on the agenda. One day, we will make it happen.
Well, I'm not as futuristic as she is, so I'm more of the it might happen, but I'm reasonably certain it'll eventually happen, assuming we don't have some kind of crazy disaster.
I mean, we already had COVID. I don't think we're due for one for a while.
So, would you like to say any closing thoughts to the audience before we wrap this up? Because this is going to be the end of the Best Memories video, so do you want to make it extra special for the audience?
Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed our memories and getting to see the things that we've done and we've been enjoying together, as well as things that you've enjoyed even outside my presence, since I know that you're doing a lot of awesome things back at home. And I do hope that this has been a wonderful year for all of you watching. I hope wonderful things have been going on in your life as well. And that, I hope that it was a highlight getting to see Paul's best memories. However, I hope that is only a compliment to all of the other memories that you are making in your own life.
And I also want to say really quickly, I meant to say this earlier, but it slipped my mind. Let's tone down on the hand gestures and the background music just for a bit. This has actually been the worst year of my life. I don't want to get into the details, but I made a video earlier this year called A Prayer Request. And it was a completely unscripted, unedited video where I just told you guys that my family and I are going through a rough time, and it happened right on Good Friday, just to make it really hit in how terrible it was. And she's one of the only people that I have told the whole story to, because she's not connected to anyone in my home state. And I guess that's what also helps make us meeting so special, is we've been able to have a kind of a little bit of a crying session, and I've really needed someone outside of the family to be able to take it in, because when you're in the midst of it, you can't always be as sympathetic. So one of the reasons why I'm making this video, besides the fact that I've been making them for like 14 years now, well, best memories lists for about 14 years, this is my 4th annual Best Memories video. One of the reasons I'm making this is that even if you are having as bad of a year as me, that hopefully you can see these memories, hopefully you have been involved in some of these memories, and it can make you happy and give you hope that things will get better. And I do think things are getting better, and I think I've told you about some progress that we've been making.
Yes, that's good to hear the progress. That I remember whenever you first told me about what was going on, it was heartbreaking. I'm so glad that you've been able to make this progress.
Oh yeah, and if this progress keeps up, I'll be able to take, which so far has been the worst year of my life this year, and not be so traumatized by it anymore, because if things go as planned, it will rewrite the memory of sorts.
I do hope that you're able to reach that point. I very much hope for that.
Well, thank you so much for your support. So with that, let's resume the music and the hand gestures and the jokes. Thank you so much for watching, my audience. Thank you to all of you who engaged in discussions during these videos, as they really do help me to be able to improve in the following years. And I'm going to say my catchphrase after that if you want to say yours.
Yes.
So I will say, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. So what would you like to say to the audience?
And you all keep living nothing less than your best life.
Such a great segue. Bye.